I have a tidbit for you. Danmachi is not an isekai.
Huh?
Well, for those who are already a fan of this anime already knows that, but a surprising amount of people still think this anime is an isekai, and that's the same reason I feel that this anime was dismissed by the very same people. Well, I can't blame them. With a title like Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon kinda leaves a different kind of impression. But it's a shame, this show is a gem of excitement waiting to be discovered. And recently, I caught up with the show and discovered that it has transformed from something good into something spectacular. Gods and goddesses descended onto this world, seeking excitement, while sealing all except for one aspect of divinity, the Falna, a blessing given to a mortal that grants them the power of RPG stats.
Hold it!
I know what the initial response is going to be. A circular town? RPG stats? Waifus? Are you sure this isn't an isekai?
I can explain.
But the similarities end there. Here enters Bel Clanel. Bel has received his blessing from Hestia, the goddess of thirst and wisdom. I gave her this title because she's sometimes extremely wise, and other times she's overly infatuated with Bel. Then again, so is this one, and this one, and this one. Bel has a lot of adventuring to do. Bel's world is about to change after this one fated encounter. He meets Ice Wallenstein, who I think is one of the best girls of the show. I'll get to the other one later. And this is absolutely, positively, 100% not because of my obsession with Saber. This encounter sparks something in Bel, giving him the ability Realis Freeze, which is like a perpetual EXP boost as long as he's simping. And Bel adventures in order to catch up to Ice, Valen, definitely not Saber. The title of this anime is called Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? But this is not entirely accurate. The term used in the Japanese title is Deai, which could also be interpreted as encounter. Bel's various encounters, not just waifus, as he embarks on his journey in the world of Volario is the substance of this anime. Learning the importance of trust. What does familia actually mean? Or the morality of being the hero. Bel builds on these encounters and they are what makes Danmachi the gem that it is. Yes, I got Nihongo Jozu just to justify a degenerate waifu title. That being said, this show has great waifus. So great that they also have their own gacha game. Oh, here we go again. And I'm not just talking about Ice Valen Saber or Bestia Goddess of Divine Ribbons. We have Aisha the Snoo Snoo Specialist, Mikoto the Ninja Waifu, Freya the Goddess of Ara Ara, Seer who is clearly hiding something, and Ryu, who I actually like as much as Ice for no distinct reason. She is the second best girl. And this is going nowhere. I'll get back to the waifus later. Danmachi's battles are nothing short of exhilarating, as they have a way of keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Sure, it doesn't have the polish like its modern contemporaries, but it doesn't need to be. Each battle is imbued with deep emotional significance, whether it be a quest to save a waifu, desire to uphold one's beliefs, or simply a drive to become stronger. The anime expertly weaves these emotions into the heat of battle, culminating in the climax of emotion that is uniquely Danmachi. Seriously, each boss encounter feels like they're from Elden Ring. The experience you gain don't automatically get converted into stats. You need to safely get back to your deity just to update your stats, making every expedition a potential do or die scenario. Defeating monsters will increase your stats, but they don't really increase your level. Levels in this world serve as a ranking system for adventurers, and to rank up, you need to go beyond what you are currently capable of. As Ryu puts it, in order to level up, you need to adventure. If I can finish one whole pizza, now I need to eat 2 to level up. Why didn't I use the exercise metaphor? This adventure makes the boss battle that much hype, and with the emotional significance I mentioned, it just makes the fight memorable. When Bel finally overcomes his limit, Bel's Argonaut ability is a perfect hype tool. It's like the limit break from Final Fantasy, but with a ringtone. And when you hear those bells, you know that you're getting that sweet, sweet payoff. Okay, I've been giving Danmachi a lot of praise, But I have one gripe. Sometimes the plot backpedals so fast like a car in a Fast and Furious movie. Here's an example. The Haruhime arc is where, to keep it vague, Belle wants to save this fox girl, but she thinks she's not worth saving, unlike the maidens from her favorite stories, because she's not pure anymore. Up to your interpretation. And Belle, still despite everything, saves her.
Hey, you. Finally awake.
It was a lie all along. It was revealed that it was all a misunderstanding. And it was just painful. At least we got Aisha from this arc, so overall it was still a net positive. Here is a mini gripe. Why isn't anyone listening to Cassandra? She literally sees the future. A lot of things could have been avoided if they actually listened to her more. If we're friends, I'll ask her the winning lottery number or ask where or when is the next Mr. Beast video taking place. Work smart, not hard. So, is it wrong to talk about waifus in this segment? Let's keep in theme with the title and go over some waifus in detail. Hestia, as I mentioned earlier, her personality mostly involves around liking Belle, but in few instances she is the warmest character in this show, and it's hard to hate her. This plays well into the fact that in actual Greek mythology she was the goddess of home and hospitality. This warmness radiates to the audience even if she is down bad most of the time. Hestia will always be the home Belle and his other familia can return to. Now give her more screen time. Ice Ballenstein is this character that even after 4-season spin-off and a movie is still hard to read. But as the initial kickstarter to Belle's journey, she is the perfect candidate for the goal that Belle wants to reach. Ice is OP. The Sword Princess, or War Princess as she's later known, is a prodigy of their generation. But what Belle doesn't see is that Ice actually respects Belle as much as she respects her. Ice is adventuring as much as Belle. She is also pushing her limit in order to get stronger. We just don't see it from Belle's googly-eyed perspective. Because of her unique skill Avenger, Ice gets her buff from hatred, in contrast to Belle, which gets his buff from simping. Wait, love. I meant to say love. So tragically, the more she gets closer to Belle and sympathizes with his ideals, her effectiveness as an adventurer will diminish, and I find this dynamic quite compelling. Other than being a very popular ship, Ryu is already done with her revenge tale. She acts like this wise Onesan to Belle. Being a former veteran adventurer, there is weight to her every statement, like the dungeon is dark and full of terrors. I'm paraphrasing here. She is jaded but still cares about others. Her revenge may be finished, but we are still in the middle of her redemption arc that may or may not have a payoff in season 4. Go watch it. And she is just a captivating watch, stealing almost every scene that she is in, making her the second best girl. And again, not because she is a blonde waifu. Base Danmachi is already great, but as the time passes, the tone of the show slowly changes. But it just feels like this was the natural progression of the show that was always going to be taken. The only thing that changed is perspective. We are seeing the journey through Belle's rose-tinted eyes. And the tone is maturing with Belle as he encounters more experiences that change his worldview. And this is what makes Danmachi better as the seasons go by. This world has always been this way. Of course, the dungeon is a dangerous place filled with dread. It looked easy because we were just looking at the starting area. This is a fully functioning city. Of course, there would be an entertainment district. The story just changes as Belle matures. The story is no longer about simping to get stronger. This is a hero's tale and all the hypocrisy and contradiction that comes with a hero's epic. And you know what? Consider me invested. Belle, you know she gave you bathwater, right? So, are you Team Ice or Ryu? Press the subscription button so I know who is cultured here. Now go on, off to your next adventure.